What is up, everybody? March 14th, 2019. Back from a fucking gigantic 7-day hiatus. So very sorry, guys. I went and did a fucking naughty thing and watched a comic book movie last week. Podcast number 16. Guys, introduce yourself.
What's up, it's Keith, and I survived the blizzard of 2019, baby.
What's up? It's Brandon, and I survived the floods out this way.
I'm Jimmy Linguini, and I lived. So there you go.
What'd you live through, Jimmy?
Flooding of.
It floods in Canada in the winter? That's fucking crazy, man.
Apparently only in my basement. Yeah.
What?
Okay.
So,
Yeah, we live on the first floor of this apartment building, and we were the only apartment that didn't get flooded.
Holy shit, how's that for lucky?
Yeah, I know. But I mean, there was like, I don't know, 20 inches of snow piled up outside, and then all of a sudden it got hot and it all melted, and it was raining. So
Yeah,
shit happens.
this fucking blizzard yesterday was pretty nuts, man. I mean, there was like 90-mile-an-hour gusts out at the airport. Oh, insane.
but
That's
like,
crazy.
That's like almost a Category 2 hurricane.
But that's what it had like a bunch of snow, and then it melted, and then it went through like cracks in the house, and then it went like into the basement. And it came like inches away from like thousands of copies of Descender. I guess. It was, like,
Oh, man.
I guess it was,
Can't lose that Descender.
800 copies of Descender, and then a bunch of junk that it almost ruined, but it didn't. Luckily.
Is your sex dungeon okay?
Yeah, my sex dungeon is fine. It just smells
Good.
bad.
Yeah. Well, it always did, right?
Prostitutes don't like it when you say, "Oh, come to my sex dungeon," because they think you're going to bring them to an actual sex dungeon, and they get scared. Not that I would know.
All right, so Jimmy, what's going on for new stuff this week? I know you had a new week in review post.
I think like this week was really just like circulated around those ratio variants that Marvel put out. Like Marvel put out one for Unbeatable Squirrel Girl. They put out like a 1 in 25 variant, and like who orders 25 copies of that book?
Nobody.
So that book seemed to be doing really well. And then there was also a new Miss Marvel Kamala Khan book called The Magnificent Miss Marvel #1, and those books seem to be doing pretty well as well.
Yeah, I like that. Well, it's the lower ratio cover. That's the one of her by the window, right?
Yeah, like there's the 1 in 50, which is like her kind of all like Plastic Man, like Inspector Gadget looking kind of cover.
Yeah, like
And
above
then-
a bridge or whatever.
Yeah, and then there's the 1 in 25, which is obviously the better one.
Now, who
Yeah.
did those variants? Who's the
That-
artist?
that's a good question.
Were they any good?
Yeah, no, the 1 in 25 is by Babs Tarr.
Okay.
And that one is like I could see it being like an iconic cover because like she's hanging out on the street, and then there's like glass next to her. She's hanging out by glass, and then her reflection is her in costume, and it looks really nice. There's also no store variants for that title, so there's no one cheating the system with that one, which I think is pretty sweet. And again, it's I guess it somehow ties into the Captain Marvel movie because there's no other reason they would release this so close to that movie, right?
Well, I mean, Trey and I saw the movie. Spoiler alert for anybody. There's nothing Miss Marvel related that I saw in Captain Marvel.
But they're saying she's going to be in the second one.
You know what's funny is I sold a CBCS copy 2 days ago for a lot more than I thought I was going to on eBay.
For
So
which book?
17 second print.
Well, that's the thing is like at this point, the market has gotten so advanced that people are buying shit before there's even the announcement, just guessing that there will be.
I don't know if
It's
Keith-
called Starve for Spec, dude.
Keith probably remembers. Do you remember my grass pictures with the 9, 9, 8,
Oh,
17?
hell yeah.
I'm down. I got 2 CGC copies left. I think I'm gonna keep those 2. So
Yeah, I got 2 copies too. I'm just kind of holding on to them. I think it's got real good long-term value.
I think I pressed one of yours.
Yeah, you did.
I think so. That was a really
Maybe.
good copy.
Yeah, 9.8 CBCS, I think. I'll just hold on to it.
Yeah, I hear you there. So here's an interesting. I don't know if anybody read anything this week. I read Avengers and Superman. This is a little bit of a spoiler if you haven't been keeping up with Avengers, but they are doing something with some 70s characters, and with Conan and Blade right now that I find very interesting. And I figured Jimmy might know or Brandon might know, but what is the movie right situation with Conan? Like new material. Like if there were to be new Conan stuff made into movies, does Marvel Disney own the rights to make that?
I'm glad you brought that up.
Okay.
No, why? Who cares? Why? Why?
I mean,
No, why though? Like,
I
why?
don't
Do
think-
you think Disney's gonna make another solo Conan movie?
Absolutely not. But I could see them using him
What?
in an Avengers style.
What?
I mean, I don't think they will, but it's possible.
Have you been seeing how they're using him in the comics?
Yeah, isn't he
Yeah,
in the
and it's
Marvel? He's in the
fucking
Marvel
dumb.
universe right now.
I think it's fucking kind of cool though.
I did a video yesterday about how people are specking on Conan in the Marvel
I
universe
specking
and how
on-
it's stupid. It makes no sense. The last
I disagree because here's the thing: is after Endgame, we're going to assume that there are going to be some wholesale gigantic changes in actors and giant Marvel characters who play them.
do you think anything's really changed since 2011?
I'm just saying that
No,
Iron.
but like, do you think anything's really changed since 2011?
In what regard? Jim, you have to fucking.
Yeah,
Like-
I think the world has changed since 2011.
Well, I mean, in 2011, Aquaman starred in a movie called Conan. The budget was $90 million, and the box
horrible.
office
Jason
did
Momoa?
48.1 million.
It was
the box
horrible.
office. Yeah. Do you think that in the last 8 years an audience has grown for Conan?
Yeah, but do you think that he could just appear in a movie? Because that would
No.
just move the needle by itself.
That's nonsense.
here's-
For
I
what
don't know.
purpose would he appear in the Avengers? Like it just that's so. I don't.
Let me ask you guys. I'm talking to Keith and Brandon on this. If I would have told you before Iron Man 2, if I had to ask you who Black Widow was or who Conan was, which one would you guys have known?
Well, I would have known both, but that's because Black Widow had that big comic that was a Spider-Man comic, so that was my introduction to Black Widow. But I mean, I knew both. Obviously, everybody knows Arnold.
Yeah, I think Conan would be bigger than Black Widow.
1,000%. And what's Marvel about to do with Black Widow, guys? They're about to make her into a movie, correct?
Yeah,
So you're saying if they write Conan correctly, they could make him a very interesting character again.
Dude,
Is
they
that-
would have
absolutely.
they would have had a Red Sonja movie if it wasn't for that fucking director.
I could see Conan showing up in a Deadpool movie.
Right. Here's the thing. I mean, it's. I'm not saying
Where, like-
on Conan.
Where like
at
he's
all.
like in the X-Men Manor or Avenger Tower.
I'm just
And
saying.
then Deadpool's just like, "Why are you here?" And he's like, "I'm an Avengers now." It makes no sense. I don't see how they could use him in any other way in the movies or
I
in a
just
TV
think with
show or
Blade,
in any way whatsoever.
Blade is the same way. Everybody knew who's Blade is. He's a black vampire hunter. That's what everyone knows who Conan is. I'm just thinking Marvel's world building for stage 3 and beyond. I really do. To introduce some curveballs and shit. I'm not saying spec. You know, man, I'm not going to say buy any fucking book. I'm just saying
I'm not saying buying Conan books either.
Well, Marvel doesn't
there's a
own Red
reason-
Sonja, right?
there's a reason that they are hawking these guys so heavy in their title. I mean, I guess behind Spider-Man, but their second biggest book in Avengers. I mean, with the roster and the people that they have, and they're choosing to focus on Conan and Blade recently, early on too in the book. I think it's interesting. I think it's something to keep an eye on.
So who's doing that? Who's doing that Avengers book then?
In what regard?
Like the writing and stuff?
Well, the one that's happening right now that
Al
Trey
Ewing?
is talking about is called Avengers
No Road Home.
No Road
Road
Home,
Yep.
which is a mini series.
Right.
Issue 5, Conan appears in 3 pages. In issue 6, he's on the cover, and in the 3 pages he appears in issue 5, he's like rescuing Scarlet Witch, and then in the cover for issue 6, he's like in some heroic pose, and there's Scarlet Witch is like in the corner, like I'm also heroic. So
Yeah.
I don't know.
That cover for number 5 with fucking Hulk sinister smile is a fucking great cover.
Sure.
With the Nyx lady. What's
What's the importance of that book in your opinion?
is that technically the first appearance of
No.
Conan in the new Marvel universe?
No, because it's no road home, right? Because her home is 616, right? So she finds Conan on her way home, and she's not in the 616 yet, right? So she's not. Plus, Conan's been in the 616. Like, there's a bunch of books where he's already appeared before this, like from 5 or 10 years ago. That I've seen posted on Facebook on when people have been posting about this. So, well, I just don't want to look them up, but I'm just saying I don't think that this is a key book. I think it's funny that people are jumping on it, and it just bothers.
I'm not saying it's a key.
No, I'm not saying you are. I'm just saying I just find it interesting that people are specking on Conan, and I just find it interesting that you think that Conan could appear in the Avengers movie or one of these movies. It's possible. I just think that's.
No, I asked you if it was possible.
I think they'll do literally anything else before Conan, because Conan, I mean, I guess maybe in Endgame they're doing some time travel shit and they go back to the Stone Ages, but it makes more sense for them to do like literally anything else to me.
I just think if you're gonna spec on Conan, and I have to say this because there are people specking on these new modern Conans, and that's infuriating. You should buy Conan 1, the Barry Windsor Smith one, and then Conan 23 and 24. 23 does have a small appearance of Red Sonja. It's not nearly as important as 24, but
and I 100% agree with that.
But Marvel doesn't own the rights to Red Sonja, but I still think that those are books that you should be buying if you're specking on Conan.
Yeah, you don't want to buy
from that. I think it's all garbage. Also, there's a Conan nude that I try to forget about, but that one is also a really
that Dark Horse one, yeah,
the one that sells. That one
sells pretty good, man. Yeah,
so,
that's a good one.
Anyways, that's all I really want to say about Conan. I apologize for bombarding your points, Trey.
It's good. That's like I said. They're building for something that. And the other thing too is I'm pretty fucked up right now, but I can't remember the name of that vampire in the goddamn iron suit I spec'd on a couple weeks ago. But in a couple of those photos, the Man-Thing's on his shoulder.
Mm-hmm.
How was the last time Man-Thing's been in a heavy Avengers book or something like that? It's been fucking forever. They're building up to something with some of those 70, 80, early 80s characters. They got
I honestly hate, though, when they bring up Man-Thing. Because then it's like every week it's like, oh, have you seen my giant-sized Man-Thing? Oh, I can't wait to buy a giant-sized Man-Thing. It's like, guys, come on, we get it. Anyways, that's my one hateful thing about that.
I don't know. I think it makes sense for Marvel to try and branch into some like horror movies just on a financial level because they're so cheap to make. I mean, look at like Get Out or anything like that. The budget is tiny, but they make so much money. So it would make perfect sense for me to see Disney want to get into some of that with a character like Blade or whoever that new vampire is. I don't remember what the fuck his name is.
I'm
No, I hear you, but I mean, even if it is Man-Thing or whoever, it'd be dirt cheap for them to make something like that, even if it's just for Disney Plus. And I think it's a reason for more people to, pay attention to.
There's 2 DC, I guess there's 3 DC movies that I could die happy if they happen.
Swamp Thing?
No. A Justice League Dark.
Okay.
Justice League, like a Guillermo del Toro written, directed Justice League Dark with a dark, real like it should be. I mean, borderline fucking X-rated or whatever. That's what I want.
That's a great audience to cater to.
Well, when you're going with like that deep of shit, I mean, you're going into depths of hell and all kinds of stuff. You know what I mean? I don't know. I mean, you probably do a hard R, but I want to see that. I want to see a Nightwing movie done right. I don't want to see Dick Grayson shit. I want to see like a extended Bat Family Nightwing film of some sorts, and I'd like to see like the origin, a Damian Batman movie on the big screen.
All right.
So,
I think DC is headed in the right direction. Everything that I've seen from Joker looks pretty good. I'm happy that James Gunn is going to be doing Suicide Squad, and from the way the market is reacting, it seems like everybody else is excited about that movie too.
I'm excited about it, but I'm also I can't be a hypocrite because I'm one of those people that actually called for his job And in retrospect, what was going on with everything. So I can't really be excited for that, but I also don't think he should be fucking, I actually 1,000% believe in second chances. So if he has to just do that movie, I'm good with it.
I know that was complete bullshit though. They fire him over fucking
But
how many year old tweets? That's ridiculous.
It was 100%, but he was calling for other people's jobs for other people's offensive tweets for 4 to 5 years back. 3 to 4
No, Disney knew about the tweets anyway, so I think the whole thing was ridiculous.
It was just hypocritical on his part to
I guess, yeah.
That was what it was more than anything. Who gives a shit what people tweet?
Well, let's talk about this Suicide Squad movie. Do we want to go
not
into like some of the
cast? That's what I'm not excited about. With the roster that he has to play from, and all this is preliminary too. I don't think it's kind of like that. Do you remember when they first talked about the very first Suicide Squad movie? They had that shitty villain that everyone was fucking specking on. He never showed up in anything. I forget what his name was. Like Suicide Squad 2. And there was a villain in there. He had like white platinum hair. And that was who they rumored to be the villain.
It was issue 12.
It was.
Who was the villain, Jimmy?
I don't know. Start with an A.
Yeah, you know who I'm talking about. But that's what everyone was speculating on being the villain. And fucking he never even.
Yeah, I have a copy signed by Margot Robbie.
Oh, really? That's pretty cool, dude.
So there's a bunch of stuff like that, and I don't think DC's going to. I think DC is going to be a lot more hands-on with these movies, and I don't think they're going to let James Gunn go in there with Harley and a bunch of fucking no names.
I know. Look at this: Ratcatcher, Killer Shark, Polka Dot Man.
Yeah, but okay, like here's what we got to remember, and this is what I said in another one of those shitty rant videos I made. Killer Shark was announced to be in the first movie.
Yeah, I mean, you kind of have to take.
But he never showed up. So that's just something to think about. Is Polka Dot Man gonna show up?
Or is it gonna be that guy that gets killed in the first 5 seconds? What was that? Dude?
Yeah, like remember Slipknot?
Yeah.
Is Ratcatcher gonna show up? I mean, is the idea of the Peacemaker showing up really bad fucking ass? Yeah, but I don't know. Harley Quinn's supposed to show up for one scene. And that's it. So
I think
by the way, guys, you want to know how fucking big of a bitch Jimmy is? Literally, and we all had told him he could be at an advanced screening of Shazam right now.
No, it's over now, or I think the movie's happening.
Whatever it was. I got those tickets yesterday when Fandango announced they're gonna do the early thing again, so I get to go next.
What do you mean? No, see, here's the thing. Here's the thing about Captain Marvel and why the Captain Marvel movie box office news makes no sense. Disney, if you didn't get an email giving you free tickets to see Captain Marvel for Wednesday or Thursday of last week, you're not on the right email list. Disney purchased.
I'm not on any email.
I'm not on that email list either, dude.
Thousands of movie theaters, thousands, and gave out free tickets just to inflate the numbers. Every one of those tickets counted as a sale.
Well, I'm just saying I bought Shazam tickets to early Fandango. I have no problem.
I believe you. I'm just saying that I find it very weird that Disney would purchase all of those seats if this movie is so good just to inflate the box office.
Are you serious? Is that what happened?
Yeah.
When I was there, I mean, it was Sunday. We went at like 9 o'clock, I want to say. And there were probably 6 people in the theater, including my wife and I, give or take. Yeah, it was empty.
Yeah, I bought tickets for Saturday, and the theater was pretty empty. It was like right in the middle. There was a bunch of seats, and that was it. I was like, huh.
Yeah.
By the way, Jimmy, there's other reasons to spec on the Avengers book that there was a death of pretty 2 big characters today.
Which Avengers book? Avengers No
Home
5?
Yes.
Okay, what big deaths were there? And we're specking on deaths now?
I was gonna say I don't think
because we all know the Marvel universe. We all know that nobody dies in the Marvel universe. But I'm just.
Did I use the word spec?
Yes.
How?
Yeah, actually,
I didn't. That wasn't me who said that. Don't come at me.
That was me that said that. But
that was my witnesses.
Another reason to spec on that book.
But who were the deaths in that? Who were the deaths in that book?
No, I guess another reason to talk about that book would be more accurate. Was
who were the deaths in that book?
Hercules and Vision.
Fuck, they killed off Hercules.
Please.
And Vision?
Please.
Wait a minute.
Yeah, they're gonna bring back Conan and kill Hercules. Get fucked. That's
actually that makes sense, but killing off Vision.
That does not make sense. That makes no sense.
No, killing off Vision is way more big than that
anymore, or whatever the fuck his name is.
Hercules will be back in 3 months, and they'll be on a team together.
Telling you, the Immortal Hulk has one of the most vicious scenes you've ever seen in that book.
Have you been reading that book, Trey?
I've been reading a little bit about the Avengers. Yeah, the Blade vampire stuff made me kind of say, huh. The art and fucking everything's horrible, but the writing's actually not bad. So
Okay.
That's so sad that Marvel can't even hire good artists, you know?
Some people may like him. Who fucking knows? We liked Rob Liefeld art back in the fucking 80s and 90s. And now, I mean, look, did you see that Superman variant?
Oh man. Brutal.
Yeah, it's ugly.
Even the Justice League one too was pretty bad.
I don't know what you guys are talking about. Both of those covers are one per order on Midtown. So you know they're hot. I don't know what you guys are going for, okay?
It's because they didn't order enough.
Fuck, I literally that looks like your 13-year-old cousin's got like a rat tail and he lives in like, you know, he doesn't do very good in school, doesn't make very grades. That looks like him, like his senior project, like drawing.
Yeah, it was pretty bad, man. I saw it on the shelf. I was like, oh my goodness, Liefeld, what happened, dude?
Yeah, it was real bad.
That being said, a great comic book was fucking Doomsday Clock last week. Oh my god. That was a fucking one of the greatest battle scenes ever. Guy Gardner thought he was gonna club punch Dr. Manhattan. Dr. Manhattan literally destroys his ring. Captain Atom was a badass though. Okay, if you have not read Doomsday Clock 10, Captain Atom is an official badass in my books because he fucking literally destroyed Dr. Manhattan. I mean, demoleculized him. You obviously know what happened next. He did his little thing where he got made his molecules and threw his wiener out and all that weird shit he did in the first movie. And then he took out the DC universe pretty much. But
how long is that book taking to come out, dude? It seems like they started like 5 years ago. Holy shit.
It's like fucking Secret Wars from a couple years back.
I can't believe people are still reading it.
It was a great book, but it wasn't getting, you know what I mean? It lost people's interest. I'm kind of
ridiculous.
Yeah, there was a podcast I listened to where they like did a segment about Doomsday Clock every week. And then it was like 4 weeks in a row, they're like, oh, well, the new one didn't come out. Well, the new one didn't come out. Well, the new one didn't come out. And then now I think they've just completely forgotten about it.
It's hard to be consistent, but it's so good. They had a retcon of Firestorm's origin. Fucking good. I won't get the spoiler on that one, but it's one of those ones where I obviously would wait for the paper.
So what happens is he's going to get gas, right? And then like there's like his whole tank gets filled up. And then he accidentally like spills it all over himself. He thinks he's fine at first, then he gets into his car, and then he accidentally lights himself on fire, and that's how.
It's shown that the professor actually it wasn't an accident. He planned on purpose for the accident to happen and the bonding to happen. So, not a huge deal. Firestorm's not a giant character, but it's an interesting part with all the legends and all the other stuff that's been going on. So, a lot of people know who Firestorm is now. But I think he's white in the comic books of this one, so I don't know what's going on.
You think he's white in the comic book? Sorry,
I think he's white in the comic books.
Well, he was white in the TV show. Is he not? Am I?
No. When he's
fired, there's 5 Firestorms, right? Or there's 5 different incarnations of Firestorm.
No idea. I can't.
I think there's a few versions
anymore. So it's good. You just said Firestorm, and then most people.
The New 52 one was white, wasn't he?
Much like everyone in the world, they read anything Firestorm related. New 52.
That's interesting. I'm pretty sure he was. Even Vince Kyver did the covers, so I mean, I'm sure he wouldn't have done it if he wasn't white.
Hey, you're probably right there.
Ching.
All right, boys. Did you see the new fucking Avengers trailer today?
Oh, of course I did. I've seen it 3 times.
Dickhead, did you watch the trailer?
Yeah, he's probably not even going to watch the movie, so why would he watch the trailer? That'd be like wasting 2 minutes of his life, dude.
Well, I know he did.
He wants to fucking talk shit about comic books and this and that, and he can't even go to a fucking. He can't see Captain Marvel. Can't be bothered to go see whatever.
Why would I go see Captain Marvel? Listen, I watched Red Dragon. I would much rather talk about how terrible Red Dragon is than watch Captain Marvel.
I mean,
Captain Marvel. We'll talk about Captain Marvel.
I'd rather spend an hour and 40 minutes talking about how terrible Red Dragon is than watching Captain Marvel.
Stay tuned for our newest podcast where we talk shit about whatever movie Jimmy happened to see this week. It's going to be great.
The problem is none of us watch any of the movies Jimmy watches, so we can't talk.
Yeah, because we don't have fucking Showtime and fucking whatever.
No, but like, come on, what is
channel?
What is Red Dragon? It's a
Hannibal sequel or prequel, I think.
Is it a prequel to Hannibal?
What the Why?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
He's watching Manhunter.
But Odin, aka Silence of the Lambs guy from your little trailer that you saw today, he's older in it. He's not younger. It's not a prequel. He's older.
They
It doesn't make
filmed
sense.
it
And then
after-
Edward Norton doesn't even explain that. It doesn't make sense. And then why is Edward Norton in that movie? Anyways, it's terrible.
Speaking of Odin, are any of you guys watching American Gods?
No.
Nope.
Oh, that show's really fucking good. You should watch it.
I watched the first couple episodes, and there was, I remember specifically, I think it was episode 2, there was a bar fight scene that was so awkward that I couldn't watch it anymore. Like, it literally turned me off. It was just one of those things where my brain was like, we're not watching anymore. And it wasn't like I was offended or anything. It just was, it was directed or written just really awkwardly for me. So I got off of it after that.
I'd have to watch that scene again, but it didn't bother me.
There was an Irish, I remember there's a redheaded Irish.
Leprechaun.
Yeah. It was just really, I don't know what it was. It just struck a nerve with me. I just kind of turned me off of it.
So back to that Avengers trailer.
Yeah.
What did you guys think of that Hawkeye's daughter or whatever?
I think that's weird. The same thing is I don't understand the fucking speculation on a 14-year-old girl who might become fucking Hawkeye girl or whatever, Kate Bishop.
No.
Or whatever fucking. That's not Kate Bishop, right?
No, I don't think so either.
no-
I don't think so
it's
either.
It's
clearly
his fucking daughter. He's teaching her to shoot a goddamn bow
Yeah,
and
it's
arrow
clearly
like
a
everyone in
flashback,
America
right?
does.
But it's obviously a flashback.
I think
no?
it is a flash. That's what it appears to be
And he has a daughter. He has a daughter that was in Age
in
of
the movie,
Ultron.
right? So that was pre-snap, something like that.
Yeah. So
Yeah, okay, but
so
here's, I mean, I think speculating on this book is fucking stupid regardless, because this
but
is
listen,
gonna
if
be
you have a Young
30
Avengers 12, sell now.
sell it now. But I do think it's more likely that's Kate Bishop than his daughter, because his daughter looks way younger
What?
in Age of Ultron than she does in that clip. And if that's a flashback, then how is she older?
How much time has happened since Age
Yeah,
of
exactly.
Ultron?
We don't know what the time frame was. 'Cause
They've-
This movie's gonna
put out
fuck
a-
with time.
He's
Oh,
because
yeah,
look,
they put out a time.
he becomes Ronin, right?
Yeah, but not.
Is he Ronin in that clip?
No, that's why.
No,
it's a
no.
flashback. So if his daughter is older, then.
But he's not Ronin in that clip. So
It must have been a few years after Age of Ultron. Then that's my guess, right? And then
Here,
this
let me
takes
look up the
this
timeline.
takes place.
It's like 2 years.
Is it?
Dude,
Is
Yeah.
it 2 years? I don't know. Who
his
knows?
daughter's like 14.
Well, I guess we don't
think.
know when this movie
She's
takes.
between 12 and 14.
Well, it's just like Jimmy's
Makes
movie.
sense.
Fuck it. And who knows, man? They don't have to explain it, I guess.
All I know is I was fucking ready by the end of that movie to go hop in there and go fucking fight Thanos with him. So
Yeah, I'm super excited about that.
I don't know what they're doing with this ticket situation. I'm very intrigued on what their reasoning for not have released pre-sales on the tickets yet, but they have to have some reason, I suppose.
I guess Disney's trying to figure out how many tickets they want to buy this round.
Or
right?
or they could do it really cool. It's just fucking you got to show up at the theater and get your tickets old school style, which I don't have a problem with. I just would like to know if that's what I got to be prepared for or not.
Yeah, it's crazy that they haven't mentioned anything about that, because a lot of movies start selling way before, months in advance,
Fucking
right?
Star Wars, Marvel Star Wars, they'll put that shit
Wait, sorry.
early.
When does Endgame come out?
Next month, right?
yeah,
April.
They 45 days from last
Oh.
45 days.
Friday. Or
All
50.
I know is like I was really looking forward to this new John Travolta movie, right? Where John Travolta has like a race car and he has a son, and then like he starts fighting with his son, and Vince Vaughn is involved, and then it turns out that somebody uploaded the entire movie on YouTube. So,
Oh.
yeah, there you go.
Seems like good stuff.
We'll blame Chinese.
So that's why I can't really like relate to you guys waiting a month for Avengers, but I hope you guys enjoy it. I mean, it sounds like everybody's going to enjoy it. This is the fifth trailer though that's been released.
No, it's,
Third, I
is it?
believe.
It's the third trailer.
I believe. Oh, fuck, I don't know. I don't keep track.
No, I'm
I
just
don't either.
curious. I don't know.
Oh
It
my
just
God,
seems
have
like-
no idea.
that's the fourth trailer. We got 3 more boys before.
No, because I mean, for most movies, they don't put out that many trailers. I just think that like Marvel has really figured out a way to market these movies properly. Because I mean,
Oh,
it
hell yeah.
certainly gets people talking about it.
what I'm very excited about is the Russo brothers have said that they have not going to release anything in a trailer that is past the 20-minute mark into the movie, which that leaves 2.5 plus hours of fucking movie left over. So
So you're telling me Brie Larson shows up within the first 20 minutes of that movie?
I guess so.
God dang it, Jimmy! You're fucking. You gotta go watch Captain Marvel, son.
I'm asking you a question. I'm just asking you a question.
I
All you
would-
have to do is say yes or no.
That's what he
asking you a
just
question.
said, dude.
Like, shoot.
I'm not gonna do that to fucking. I'm not gonna trying
So
to
yeah, I
ruin
guess.
people's movie, man. That's not what I was trying
Well,
to.
if that's what we're saying, then that's what we're saying.
Well, you've never
That-
seen Avengers, so I
we
mean,
already
we're
know
just speculating.
we already know Captain Marvel doesn't die in the end of her movie, so and we already know it ties into the Avengers movie at some point. So we know she's going to show up at some point. I was just asking if she shows up in the first 20 minutes. I guess
It
that
has
means
to
that
be because she
would
was in the trailer. So
I mean,
guess
you
that
can-
means-
you
I
can
guess that
Google
means
it.
she's going to be an integral part of the movie. That's
Oh,
all
yeah.
that I'm suggesting.
I
is that-
absolutely,
that's what that means.
I absolutely think, yeah, she is.
And
going
maybe we will eventually see Kamala Khan, because why would they release a new Kamala Khan series this week? That
because
doesn't.
they're
make
just pumping Kamala Khan up. I mean, she's
Because they know speculators
So-
will buy it.
yeah, exactly.
could be.
So you think Avenging Spider-Man 9 still has legs in Avengers, or you think?
Yes.
No,
Yes.
no,
Yep.
no,
Yep. Yep.
I don't.
Yep. If what you're saying is true, where the trailer only takes everything that happens in the trailer is just the first 20 minutes, and she's in the full movie as an integral part, I do think that book could still go up.
I think. Well, I mean,
Depends where they leave it at the end, though.
I would rather invest in Miss Marvel 1 than Avenging
So
Spider.
what's the prices on Miss Marvel 1 like?
They're roughly the same for a raw copy of Avenging Spider-Man 9 and Miss Marvel 1 in your mint, which makes no sense.
What about graded copies like 9.8, 9.6?
I actually
know?
wrote an article about it this week. Let me take a look. The Miss
I'm-
Marvel 1s graded are way higher than Avenging Spider-Man 9, but raws are like the same price.
Yeah, because it was all black, right? So it was pretty tough to get a high grade, right, Trey?
Yep.
For Miss Marvel 1 or for...
No, was it Miss Marvel 1? Right? Doesn't it have a dark cover? Oh, someone's going to town, baby.
That's my son. Hold on.
Yeah, get that aggression out.
Get it out. Tickling. That's a fun age when they just want to beat the shit out of stuff.
Yeah, he's got to wear them out, man. It's already like 9:30 over there. So yeah, I kind of think Avengers Spider-Man 9 has a little ways to go up maybe again.
I like the cover. It's one of those ones with the first appearance on the cover, all that. I actually like it. And the fact that it's a Spider-Man book's not going to hurt it. So
Yeah, I think you probably can hold on to that book for a while, I think it'll always have some value, I guess, if she's going to be in a movie, right?
yeah, I'm going back to look at this trailer, and I'm really starting to think that they're lying to us. There's a lot of shit that goes on in the first 20 fucking minutes. I mean, Scarlet Witch got 2 hair color changes already.
Yeah, but you know Marvel, they're notorious for not really saying anything in the trailer.
Now, here's what I'm interested about. I hope that I need to remember what the first book where Thor brought the Asgardians to Broxton, Oklahoma. It's like our one claim to fame in comics, and I think that's a legit possibility further on down the line with the disbanded Asgardians. So I've seen stupider books go up in value. So
I didn't even know that happened, dude. What issue is that?
I want to say
Oh,
I
that's
don't know.
hilarious.
I need to Google it, but yeah,
It's a siege.
As-
It's one of the siege books
is that what it was?
where they bring Asgard to
Broxton,
the world for no
Oklahoma?
reason, and then Asgard is just there as like a floating island above like some
On Earth?
giant state. Yeah,
Right here it is. Thor Volume first
and then
appearance.
like in siege they're all fighting. Yeah,
Thor
that's
Volume 1, Volume 3, number 1. So yep.
Jason Aaron,
Volume 3, huh?
right? Jason Aaron.
I'm looking. It doesn't say on who wrote it on what
I
I'm
apparently
looking.
don't read comic books.
I'm not questioning you at all. I'm just
No, I'm just saying. Apparently, I don't read comic books.
Did you guys talk about what prices were for Avenging Spider-Man 9 and Miss Marvel?
No, what are they?
9.8 for Avenging Spider-Man 9 is going for about $550, and a 9.8 for Miss Marvel 1 is going for about $2,187.
Nice. That's where it should be.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. But like I said, you know, there's near mints of Miss Marvel 1 going for like 175 on eBay.
Ungraded?
Yeah.
Huh.
And raws for Avenging Spider-Man 9 are going for an average of 185. So
Yeah, dude, take Miss Marvel 1 all the way.
yeah.
For sure. I'm behind that. What about the Marvel superhero books, too?
I haven't looked at any of those.
What are they, like 13 is one and 16 some shit?
With the ones with Marvel.
No, the first Carol Danvers, right?
Well, yeah, those are when it was Marvel who was Captain
Yeah,
Marvel.
yeah, yeah.
I haven't looked
Marvel.
at them as far as prices, but I think Miss Marvel one's a better book than the Marvel stuff. Personally,
I don't know. Those square bounds are harder to get in higher grades.
they are. I mean, I look at it the same way as like buying the first Cletus Cassidy instead of the first Carnage. Like you can, and I get where you're coming from, but 361 is the book to have.
Wasn't Marvel superheroes harder to get though?
Probably.
Yeah.
Well,
How many people want that book over Miss Marvel 1?
I mean, I think it's more that just because they were square bound books and they're like a thicker book, they were just harder to store. So because they had like those kind of issues, they're harder to find in high grade, and I think that's why they have more of a collectability because more people probably threw them away.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm trying to say. It's pretty much a rarer book to get in a higher grade, you know?
True.
I'm not saying it's not. If I was looking to invest, I would put my money in Miss Marvel 1 before I'd put it in any of those.
Jimmy, you
Yeah,
are.
I mean, I don't know. I think Carol Danvers is a good one. The first Carol Danvers. I think the first time Carol Danvers becomes like gets her powers is also a good one.
Mhm.
But I mean, Miss Marvel 1 is always going to be a key. Let's be real on that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. But if Captain Marvel isn't appearing in any movies, do you think the value of her books are still going to be up there? I don't know, man.
No.
She's not a central character, you know?
No, the Marvel superhero ones, like they would never be hitting what they're hitting if there were no movies.
So how much do you think they're going to come down from where they're at now? You know what I'm?
Well, they'll come down. I mean, but like before the movies, I was finding them for $5 to $10, very high grade copies. So I can't possibly see them hitting that level again, but I can see them going seeing a small little dip. But it depends on how the Avengers Endgame movie ends.
Yeah, I mean,
it really does.
Well, we know how it's going to end. Thanos going to get his ass kicked, but
Yeah, but if she's gonna live on, and if she lives on and is a hero for the second series, and the book's gonna keep going up, or for the second movie, the book will just keep going up.
there's no way they're gonna kill her off.
no, she's going to probably have another movie. Is my guess.
Fuck,
Yeah, but I mean, if
didn't
she
think they were gonna
kills-
kill off fucking Spider-Man and Avengers, and they fucking did it.
If
They
she
have
kills-
another
he's
Spider-Man movie
If she
coming
kills
out.
Thanos though, and she becomes like the big hero of Avengers Endgame, that's only gonna add to her book.
Yeah, that's probably what's going to happen, right? Because she's touted as the most powerful character in the Marvel universe. So obviously,
I mean, that's
heard
what they say, but I mean, I was reading a comic book this week where Thor broke the neck of Hulk, and then Hulk died. So I mean, why isn't
Oh, which
Thor
Hulk was that?
Well, it was in a book called "What If Hulk Goes
Yo,
Berserk."
what if book? Okay, now
Yeah.
I'm taking it seriously.
What do you mean? It's called "What If Hulk Goes Berserk." Hulk goes berserk and is killing people, and then Thor breaks his neck. How is that a thing that like? So if Thor can just break people, like the
That's-
strongest guy ever's neck, I think he might have some powers that we're not really.
Do you
not
think he
really
was
dealing
just
with.
I mean, Thor fucked up Thanos pretty good at the end of Infinity War.
And then same with Thor died. Odin killed Thor. We were all, or not Odin. Loki killed Thor, and then Odin brought him back. So I think we're really like ignoring the powers of these Asgardian people,
That's interesting.
and that's recently.
I don't know.
So why do they depower him in the movie like that? Then you know.
I don't know. I know. I the only part in the trailer I saw was him and Brie Larson, right? So I don't know. Maybe they're trying to say that they're both very powerful.
Well, I
Maybe
heard
we'll see.
theory this week. The guys on the Weekly Planet were talking about it. They were theorizing that Captain Marvel was actually supposed to die in the snap, but she's like using all of her energy to hold herself together. I don't know if that's true, but it would be a way to make them have her not be too overpowered. Because honestly, at the end, I mean, spoiler alerts for Captain Marvel, but she is extremely powerful at the end of that movie. And if she is that powerful in future movies, they're going to have a hard time finding any villains that are powerful enough to fight her.
Yeah, but then she'll
What
just
year does
fly
that movie
off.
take place in?
1995.
What's like a disaster that happens in 1995 that they blame her for? Did something happen? Like, did she cause like an earthquake or something?
No.
Okay,
I mean, not that I know of anyway.
now that would be a movie.
That would be a movie. I mean, I don't think it's gonna happen.
They
but-
end it. She saves the world, but I mean, like, it starts like all the riots in LA because all the power goes out, and all the bridges collapse. I don't know. Anyways, that sounds cool though. I'm glad that people are liking that movie.
So wait, I want to know.
I thought
this-
Trey was gonna hate it, but it sounded like he enjoyed it. So
I want to know one
Trey's
thing,
interested.
Brandon. I want to know one thing, Brandon. So does she become binary at the end of the movie or no?
No.
Okay, I was just curious.
But she does in there is like a Target figure where she's binary.
Really?
I think so.
Hmm.
They did like a few exclusive toys, and one of them is based on binary.
There's one like little scene where she's kind of like basically putting on a bunch of different costumes, like just for shits and giggles. But I mean, that's
Well, plus Marvel did the True Believers reprint of the first appearance of binary.
Did they?
Marvel wouldn't have done that for no reason.
eh,
No, they wouldn't. No, they wouldn't have done that for no reason. Get real.
Yeah, Jimmy has this theory about
Did
the
they-
reprints.
Captain Marvel's not even in that book. Like, it's not even like.
I'm curious. Did they do a reprint of Avenging Spider-Man 9, or did they only do one for Miss Marvel?
I didn't see one for Avengers.
They only did one for Miss Marvel.
All right, there you go. Marvel says you should only be buying Miss Marvel 1.
Yeah. Well, in their defense, there were multiple printings of Avenging Spider-Man 9
Yeah, but how recent?
within 5 years.
I don't know. I think
Well,
anybody.
wait. What was the last reprint of Avenging 9? Just the second print, right?
Yeah, the second or the third print. Yeah,
I
Did
thought
they have a
but I
third
mean
print? Yeah,
the
third-
most recent reprint of, like, say, the binary.
Oh
or,
yeah,
Captain Marvel
Sure.
1 would have been. Yes.
Because binary was what or Bronze Age, right?
70s, yeah.
yeah,
70s?
it's forever ago.
Bronze or copper? I don't know. One of them.
Who knows?
All right, so what's going on with Immortal Hulk? You said a 9.8 sold for 500.
I know this Immortal Hulk 2 is going crazy, man. Like, I guess people are eating up this Dr. Fry guy or some shit because this is for the 1 in 25. So, like, probably a couple months ago, maybe or a few weeks ago, a 9.8 we're going for like 300, and this last week it jumped up to 500 for a 9.8.
Fuck, man. And that's for a book that came out like a few months ago.
Nah, what are the Immortal Hulk like? Maybe
Yeah, it's a
ago
year.
almost.
It's a year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
But
that's what it
and
is.
they have like a 1 in 25 is coming up for an issue that's coming out soon, like in the next few months.
well, but like
That people are specking on.
I mean, I could be wrong. I pay a lot less attention to like very new issues than a lot of other people. But 5 years ago, could you imagine a 9.8 of a, I don't know, 1 year old book going for $500?
Yeah,
Like what?
Saga.
Okay. How long
Did
ago
that happen with Saga? I wonder. I don't know if that happened.
I don't know.
That wasn't even incentive, but
I mean, maybe the
No, I mean, I remember it selling for. I remember the incentive was like 600 for like a long time,
well,
and then
I
it spiked
suppose
at like
that's kind of
1400
similar to
overnight.
a ratio variant.
But yeah, I don't know.
yeah, I think it happens. But I just think this book is weird because it's Dr. Fry, right? I don't read it. Trey was reading it. Maybe you can.
No. I
got
read
that part.
I read like the origin and
Okay.
a little bit of the stuff as he was getting out of hell in the Avengers, but I didn't go down that rabbit hole of that yet. That
Yeah, I'm pretty-
some of the art on some of those faces those Hulk are making on the cover, I just can't fucking do it.
I mean, that Wolverine Platt variant was hot immediately. That Mary Jane Venom.
Yeah, there's there's a lot, dude.
So I mean, I think those are just two examples that I think would have been $500 out the gate, like within the year.
I know, but this cover isn't that good. I don't think
Yeah, I
it
agree
was
with you.
just a
Yeah.
blah
It's a
blah.
stupid
I
character
mean,
that people are expecting.
yeah.
For no
So
reason.
I don't really understand that part of
What
it.
was that, Jimmy?
What
Crotch
was
shot,
that?
baby. Love it.
Ooh,
That's what people come to comic book wars for.
for my
Yes, they
remotes.
do.
Jesus Christ.
So
Watch-
Umbrella Academy is still doing pretty well, man. The Apocalypse Suite Raws they're selling, man. I don't understand it because these Netflix shows, you figure people binge the whole Netflix show and then it's over, right? And you think momentum would just die after the first whatever week.
I think Netflix just builds the momentum on their own because they do such a big push when those new shows come out. It's on everybody's homepage and they say, hey, you should watch this. And then the few people that don't watch it initially, everybody's talking about it on Facebook, and it gets added to the like popular on Netflix category, and finally everybody's like, oh well, shit, I should watch this.
I think Netflix is like might have some issues with like their tech.
What do you mean? Like how?
Because like every time like something new gets I have to go on a website to see the new stuff that gets added. Because when you go to their bar of like new stuff that's added, it's always like popular new stuff. It's not like their actual new stuff.
Yeah, that's what people are watching. That's why.
I think that's why Umbrella Academy is going to do well, because every time you go to like new, they put Umbrella Academy and all these other like titles that they're or series that they're pushing. And they're really pushing it.
Why would that drive? Why would that drive people to buy the comic book though?
Because they like.
Because that's
if you like the series, maybe you want more of the story.
People are paying $800 to read a fucking Umbrella Academy Apocalypse Suite #1.
Well, it's the same. Yeah, nobody's buying it to read it.
Well, that is the first appearance, right?
No, it's the free comic book day.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah, free comic book day was before that, but that one's pretty rare, right? Because that one's only like 200 copies or whatever.
But
whatever, 2,000.
It's the same as
2,000.
you know, people see it and they're like, "Oh, I want to have that first appearance in my collection." Or it's like, you know, what is it? Infinity War 1, like, or Infinity Gauntlet, like. Yeah, that's not really the first appearance of anything significant, but they made a movie based on that storyline, so people want to have that comic in their collection.
So do you think it's going to drop off in a little while, right? How many seasons? How many seasons is Umbrella Academy right now?
There's just the one. I think they've been confirmed for season 2, so there'll probably be a little bit of a lull in, you know, about 3 months or so. Kind of like there hasn't been a ton of people I see talking about Chilling Adventures of Sabrina now.
That's exactly what I was going to bring up, because in April, Chilling Adventures is going to start up again, right?
Yeah. And I bet you'll see sales pick up again.
That's what I'm thinking. So, you know, a good book to spec on right now might be Chilling Adventures of Sabrina, because I see some copies going for pretty cheap now. You can get whole sets for like $40.
I'd be buying.
You don't think people are specking on Sabrina right now?
No, it's going cheap right now.
I think they're.
So I've been noticing like,
but have you noticed the spike up?
That trailer came out in December, right?
Yep.
And then I see a lot of that Jughead, the Hunger #1, the one shot, the first appearance of Jughead as a
because of that one clip as a werewolf.
Yeah, it's I believe it's 4 seconds, Keith. So let's give it some, yeah. And then that's also pushing people, which is also pushing people
that's what she said,
to go for the Afterlife with Archie.
I saw that one go cheap though. Oh, the magazine, got it. Yeah, I saw
the magazine's the first appearance, so like people are jumping on that again.
For what, Afterlife with Archie?
It's a Life with Archie, Afterlife with Archie cover.
No, I know, but the spec play is Afterlife with Archie.
Yeah, because of that 4-second werewolf thing. Because if there's a werewolf, if Jughead's a werewolf, then obviously Life with Archie is coming, right?
Yeah, but don't they have all kinds of man? That if you actually watch the show, there's all kinds of creatures on that show, though. You know,
dude. I don't watch the show.
Okay, so I watched the whole first season.
I don't think the first Riverdale spin-off connection is going to be Jughead showing up as a werewolf. I don't know if Trey has a different opinion, but it doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah, I'm not in on any of that spec.
Yeah, it's nuts. But again, Jughead the Hunger one has 3 covers. The Frankavilla and the Hack look really nice. If I saw them for like under $3, I'd buy them because they're selling for 10 to 15. But it's a joke. That is a joke spec.
Yeah, I agree. I don't believe in that either.
I think so many people are talking about that kind of stupid shit that they're ignoring just the Chilling Adventures of Sabrina run, which was the initial thing that got hot, and they've forgotten about it.
That's how it goes, though. It cycles up and down, right? So I do believe once it comes back on the air, though, it might pick up again.
Yeah, I think it will. Because the same thing's going to happen that happened with Umbrella Academy. You know, as soon as you sign in, it's going to be listed in like every category, and they're like, watch it, and eventually people are going to watch it and they're going to like it.
So do you think they could actually do a Afterlife with Archie? I mean, that's like basically a zombie movie. And I feel like zombies after Walking Dead's kind of fizzled out. Zombies are kind of on the downside. What do you guys think?
If they were going to do Afterlife with Archie, it would somehow have to tie into Riverdale. And Riverdale season 3 is what is starting up, right?
Would it have to tie into?
Yeah. Wait. So
Yes.
you
What,
think
they're
they?
gonna recast?
Yeah.
Well, wait.
What?
So you think they have to show
Are
it
they
on
gonna show
CW?
2
Is that
seasons
where
of
it's going to
it?
end up? If it ends up anywhere, it's going to be CW. Is that what you're saying?
I imagine.
I mean, it's possible.
Wouldn't it? Wouldn't any Sabrina Riverdale spinoff be in control of whoever controls the Riverdale characters, which again is CW?
I disagree though. I don't think it would have to be the same characters.
That's what I mean. Like,
I'm impressed y'all are able to talk about this shit this much.
Well, I just think that it's like they're supposed to be a
Well,
spinoff, right?
but-
They're supposed to combine each other, but I don't see CW being like, "Oh yeah, we should do the crossover on Netflix, not on our
that
not
wouldn't
on
make
our
sense at all.
because they wouldn't get ad revenue and they'd be pushing people to a subscription based service that's competing with them. So I just don't see that happening.
it's not really competing with them though, because Netflix
Isn't competing with the CW.
They
No.
totally are. Yeah.
I wouldn't say so. I mean,
They were 100%.
CW does
No.
the CW have a streaming service?
Probably.
No, but they're competing-
CW is
they're
probably
competing for
owned by a
viewers.
company that has one.
Yeah, they're competing for viewers, so I think it's a total straight.
Well, the
comp.
CW is like Warner Brothers, isn't it?
Why
Yeah.
couldn't they put Afterlife on Netflix though? Wouldn't it be more?
No, they
suited towards
could.
that?
They could 100%. And the deal is with Riverdale is once it shows up on TV, it shows up on Netflix. But
What? That's the deal? Who said that?
yeah, it simultaneously shows up on Netflix after
Yeah.
it shows up on TV. But since it shows up on TV first, CW controls it.
Yeah, it's Warner Bros. That owns CW.
Sure. I just don't see it happening. That's just my opinion. But who knows? Hopefully it does. If you guys think there's a recasting, maybe I would rather see Archie and Punisher first if we're going to do spin-off movies.
Well, that's probably not going to happen, because then it would have to be on like Disney Plus.
Wow, would that John
Why-
Bernthal? That'd be
why?
awesome, dude. I'd watch that.
It's not really violent. I mean, it's just Punisher's trying to track down a drug
Yeah, but
dealer.
they still have to use the Punisher character.
Yeah. But I mean, he's not really. Yeah, you're right.
I mean, I guess I don't know if Netflix still technically has the rights to use the Punisher. Maybe they do, and they just
I mean, well, Disney Plus is trying to do these what if. They're doing a series of what if books or what if
Yeah.
TV shows, right? So I mean, I don't know. I think Archie and Punisher would be a good story for that, but I guess it's not really a what if.
What are the other what if ones they're coming out with?
They haven't announced any of them.
Yeah,
There's just
I
been
mean,
like insinuations here or there, but
I don't
there's
even
no
know-
firm confirmations.
I don't even know if they're going to use the comics as material for that. Like, it basically just be like Black Mirror, but with comic book characters, so they could just do whatever the fuck they want, right?
I mean, I think the what if #1 is probably going to be the winner on that.
That'd be the book I'd buy, for sure. And I do think it's going to be a cool series.
That's always been a good book, though. I mean, that one's Squarebound too, right?
Yeah,
I don't think so.
No. What if
maybe
I
I'm
want?
crazy.
I used to have one. I don't have it here.
Yeah, I mean it's Silver Age size. I don't think it's not square bound though.
Makes sense.
Yeah, so
Did something horrible just happen in New Zealand? I keep getting a lot of updates. Sorry, guys.
No, that's okay. I got the same thing. I just didn't look at.
what you guys are getting New Zealand updates?
Oh, yeah, mass shooting in New Zealand. But speaking
New
of less
Zealand.
depressing stuff, Trey, have you been watching Doom Patrol?
I have not, guys. I've been so fucking busy. Like I said, it was last week. I was just excited to get able to go see Captain Marvel. To be honest with you, I'm so behind on Doom Patrol and there's a bunch of reading I'm behind on. I just need an extra day in the week right now, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I'm curious to see what you think about it. I like it. I don't necessarily love it. I think Alan Tudyk is the worst part of that show, which
I can
makes
totally see that too.
Yeah. Which makes me not excited for Resident Alien. But we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. I wasn't. It's one of those things. Are you going to be excited to see season 2? Probably not. You know what I mean?
I don't know. It depends on where it goes. If they kill off Alan Tudyk, it might be.
You never know.
It's kind of weird because they've got him like he's the villain of the show, but he's also the narrator, and it's like he's doing the narration really goofy, which fits the tone of the show. But then it's like, are you supposed to be afraid of this guy, or is he supposed to be funny?
Interesting. Well, I'm gonna hop into it. Hopefully sometime early summer at this rate.
You'll get there eventually.
Shit, I still haven't even seen Spider-Verse yet. I'm waiting for it to come out on Blu-ray.
It's out, isn't it?
Yeah,
No,
it's been out, buddy.
No, Blu-ray? I think it's next week.
Well, you can get it on digital download. That's all I know.
Oh, I want to buy it on like HD Blu-ray and watch it on my TV. It'll be cool.
Fair enough.
Do you watch movies on? I had a joke about you can still watch the digital one on your TV, but
Fuck,
I know
it
what
looks
you
way
mean.
better.
I like
What?
having a hard copy of that shit too. I'm totally. With
Oh,
you.
it looks way better on my TV with my sound system up and freaking subwoofer blaring, dude. The whole house is shaking.
I'll pay the $4 for the hard copy and the steel case and all that shit. No problem.
So what's going on with sports cards? I know Luca's doing something interesting you got in the notes here.
Oh yeah, so I did notice something that might interest people about the Luca graded cards, and I was talking to a dealer at a show about it recently, and he was saying that PSA 10s are actually outselling 9.5 Beckett graded cards. So I mean, the theory they're going for like maybe $50 more. It's kind of crazy. And what's at the issue is the PSA is not grading the centering of the card as harsh as Beckett is grading it. So a lot of these PSA 10s are like totally off-centered cards, man. They're still giving them PSA 10s.
So they would be a 9.5 probably if they were Beckett.
Absolutely, and probably like on the lower end of the 9.5, because I guess the Beckett centering, there's only been a handful of 10s centered. So I think that's the key when you're buying these Luca Silvers is you got to get a really centered card. It's going to make a huge difference, especially price-wise down the road.
I did. I bought my first mega box or whatever they call them of prisms thanks to you guys, and I got my ass kicked. So thank you for that.
Trey knows all about that.
Fuck, Prism ass whoopings, but I do best.
Dude, Prism is all retail is tough. I'm telling you.
Yeah,
I mean, honestly, your best bets are like the first off the line or the hobby.
Fuck
boxes.
yeah! Don't even try doing that. Don't even bring that shit up, Keith.
Why?
Oh, that motherfucking Panini website.
Dude, I was going to tell you. I don't know if I should tell you on the air or not, but there's actually an app for the Panini store, and I heard the checkout is faster on the app. So that's a Comic Book Wars exclusive.
That's an exclusive, motherfuckers. None of that shit.
I believe it. I wouldn't be surprised.
God, it makes sense. I didn't even think about doing that.
No, but you know what? National Treasure's coming up, right? So
$4,400 a case.
holy cow. Isn't that insane? Yeah, it's like $1,000 a box, man.
Dude, I fucking here's the thing. If you hit one of the 5 to 7 good fucking rookies and one of the good ones, you're not doing bad.
Yeah, that rookie patch autos, man.
Dude,
National Treasure.
Can I buy stock in them right now just on the basis that I know you guys are going to keep buying them? See, Panini stock.
I don't know.
Panini's I don't know. It's just like Panini's a foreign brand. I have a hard time getting all the way fucking wide. I'm being honest. I know it's, you know what I mean? We used to make fun of Panini. 5 years ago, Panini was shit.
Yep, I agree.
And now getting behind Panini and seeing them making rated rookies like my Donruss and shit used to. I'm not all in on Panini.
Yeah, they pretty much stole Topps' ideas and got the license, you know? I mean, that's what happened,
Prism is a Bowman fucking ripoff of all Bowman ripoffs.
Yep, totally.
Top
I agree.
Bowman, that's another story.
No denying.
Speaking of a card, I don't know if you guys saw, I got a pretty cool one last week.
What'd you pick up, man?
I got an autographed Frank Frazetta card.
Oh, wow. Yeah, from your little haul in the... Where was it? Storage unit or some shit?
Yeah, that's pretty crazy. Dr. Joe had a honey hole that had been unpicked. Unfortunately, it was fucking 14 degrees, and the storage shed was outside, and there was like wind getting underneath it. It was the most miserable cold. And Dr. Joe and I were literally making out. We were so fucking close.
Body heat, baby.
Oh my god, it was so fucking horrible. So we didn't look through everything. We gave about a half-ass look, and I mean, you guys saw there's some Action Comics 59.
I know, some good golden age, man.
Yeah, and
You
there's a
you never run into that shit.
the worst part about it was a lot of the really, really good stuff. Dr. Joe and I didn't realize that we left it. I mean, I know my shit. You guys know that, and Joe knows his shit. And we found out we left some gold behind.
Are you talking about golden age books?
Not necessarily, but there's some other golden age stuff that we need to get through. But just some like horror mags and some of the stuff Jimmy's talked about recently. Conan books, Eerie book. Gory, whatever, Eerie, Gory, whatever that shit is.
Yeah, I don't understand those Conan magazines. I don't know. I keep seeing them all the time. I can't.
You really got a
which Conan? Which Conan?
No, that's what. No, you mentioned Conan, but I mean Savage Sword of the Conan. I see them all the time now. I just don't know. Like I'm not into it. I mean, maybe the later issues. I don't know though.
Are there any that are valuable?
It's more of the art.
I don't think there are. Honestly,
Dr. Joe liked the art. I mean,
the art
Frazetta-esque. So
dude, it's
Frazetta-esque. What does that mean?
It's black and white interiors, and they're all painted covers.
Well, who's doing the covers?
It's a plethora of different artists, but a lot of the same ones that did horror books did a lot of those Conans. I think it's like the Boris guy, and then there's a bunch of other, like Sidam did some, but like there's a plethora of different artists that did those Savage Sword of Conan magazines. I just find them interesting. I mean, it's black and white Conan books. But you see them more and more. I guess more people are getting rid of their collections, and nobody actually wants those books. So that might be why I'm seeing them so much.
Because it's Conan.
Yeah.
I found, like I said, there was a bunch of Image gold books and shit like that we bought a bunch of duds too. Just kind of thinking like, what the fuck? We tried to talk to Jimmy, but we got to rig up some sort of head cam situation. Buy Jimmy like a big bag of weed and just. As we're going through shit, he can tell us to stop and buy it or don't buy it or whatever. But
yeah, because Jimmy's the magazine expert now, right?
That and like weird Image comics. This guy had
Image.
more.
So what kind of Image? I'm curious. I love indies.
Like shit. I've never even seen some of the titles before. A lot of like kabuki looking Image titles.
Kabuki.
Like a
no, there was like from what I saw, there was like She. And stuff that's not Image. There was a lot of like indie stuff that wasn't Image that he is for whatever reason putting in Image. Like, there was a lot of Dave Stevens stuff and Rocketeer stuff. There was a lot of cool stuff in what I saw.
Wow, yeah, Dave Stevens
on FaceTime with him for like literally 4 minutes. There was some cool stuff, and I don't remember seeing any Image books, honestly. But I think I could completely see him.
I think he's saying that indie books, not necessarily Image.
I think that's what he means.
Okay, yeah.
It was
we'll go with that.
Like I said.
Well, I mean, he said kabuki, and 100%. There, 100%. There is. I think I did see that David Mack kabuki #1. So I'm, and that's not by Image. So that's the only reason I think.
Did they have the Campbell kabuki? Because that's a good one.
I don't think so. It was that black one.
The version.
You should just buy it all, Trey.
Yeah, no.
How many long boxes are we talking?
Apparently,
he said that there was 120.
Holy cow!
Wow.
What'd you guys look at?
I think we looked at about altogether maybe 50.
So half?
I look like we got through most of it, but he said there was 120. Who knows? Here's the other thing too: is he had more fucking toys and that's the other shit I know nothing about.
All mint on card?
Not necessarily, because here's the crazy part: is floodwater hit a bunch of this shit, but luckily they were all bagged and boarded. So I mean, I know that sounds crazy, like the boxes they were in. That's what Dr. Joe at one point Todd looked at me. He's like, "Dude, we got hepatitis. I know it." He's like, I know it." But I mean, all the books and shit are fine, but the boxes
are destroyed.
They were rough. So, and like I said, it was so cold, that you're going through those bags. The bags are hard. I mean, my fingers were like cut from going through.
So do you guys have an invitation to go back?
Yeah. We may go back Tuesday.
Tuesday? How warm is it going to be on Tuesday?
Like 65.
Oh,
I can do
yeah.
As long as it's above freezing, it's not a big deal. But I mean, it was just, it was miserable. And he had this little space heater in there. And I'm pretty sure we breathed some toxic fumes, had like a little mini trip session. We started dancing and it was weird shit.
Sounds like a good time to me, man.
Yeah, it wasn't bad. I woke up, I was missing a tooth. I don't know what the fuck happened. That was a way better joke than what people gave me credit for. So.
Oh shit! Well,
But the baseball, talking to sports cards, though, baseball is what's going on right now. And Fernando Tatis Jr., Bo Bichette, Vladimir Guerrero Jr., what's the guy, Edgar Alonso for the New York Mets, who was a Florida State fucking masher. What's crazy is I actually got an autographed Peter Alonso, like a really good card now that I think about it. So
cool.
It's spring training. This is when you can get a beat up on a lot of people by watching games and getting reports on the youngsters, the guys that were drafted last year, how they were hitting against first string pitchers, et cetera, et cetera. A lot of speculators in the sports card market, especially baseball.
Yeah,
this is where they make their money.
Yeah, here's my biggest problem with baseball. When they first come out, man, these rookie cards are so expensive when it first comes out, man. So either you got to pull it or be really on top of it.
Yep. I don't disagree with that either.
I mean, if you look at these, if you look at like the Bowman silver autos, man, they're of guys that are like 3 or 4 years away from the majors are so expensive already. It's insane.
100%.
So you got to be pretty good at seeing out in the future. Like if you're buying this year, you got to know like the guy 3 years from now that's going to be in the bigs, you know?
Yep.
But you're talking about Vlad Jr., right? Didn't he get hurt?
Yeah, he's out for 6 weeks, I believe. So,
but that kind of fits into their plan, right? They're gonna just sit him out for however long so they can get the extra year on his contract, right? Of free agency.
God dang it! I just got a fucking notification from Amazon. They delivered my package to the wrong door. They sent a fucking picture. I'm like, that's not my fucking door, assholes.
Hey, Brandon, you want to talk a little bit about Magic? Did he go?
Brandon has some Magic trips he's going to talk to us about?
I don't know. I thought he was.
Yeah, I don't know. I just think it's interesting that nobody talks about Steranko and his magic tricks.
What does Steranko do?
What do you mean? What did he do before he did comics?
What did he do?
He was a professional magician.
Was he? I didn't know that.
Yeah. And he has like books that he published himself that feature his first published artwork.
Who is this?
About teaching magic.
Really?
What do you mean? Listen, we asked you for your magic segment and your magic input. You weren't here. So now we're talking about Steranko and his magic, okay?
I didn't know he did.
You can ask him. You can ask him about it, and he'll show you magic tricks at shows, and then he'll talk about nonsense for like 15 minutes to you.
Of course, man. All the old people like to talk your ear off, man. It's cool.
But yeah, he is a professional magician, very renowned in that field. And then he has all these Steranko magic books that are out
so
there.
where was he performing this magic?
I honestly have no idea. But
was it like a street performer? Or was it like in front of big crowds?
He was an accredited magician, and it makes sense of why he's always wearing a suit, because he's always doing
he's always got to put on a little show for everybody.
Anyways, my point is, nobody ever talks about that. And you would think he didn't come out with one magic book. He came out with several magic books. And I think just like he came out with like those comic book history books, he did the same thing for magic. So I mean, I don't know. Anyways, is there anything going on in the magic world this week, Brandon?
Yeah, well, I guess it's a little old news at this point, but we didn't do a show last week. They announced a new set called Magic Horizons, which I think is going to be a really big deal, and it's already kind of causing a big buzz in the speculator market. Basically, there is a format called Modern that only uses cards from a certain point onward. It's much bigger and better for speculation than Standard is, and they've decided that what they're going to do is go back and reprint a few of the really old cards so that they can be used in the Modern format, and then make a bunch of new cards as well. There is one card that really went nuts last week called Baleful Strix. It was selling for like, I don't know, $1 or $2 for a really long time. And then once the news about this set came out, Some versions were going as high as like $19 for one card. Most of them have settled down to like 15 or so. Some are going down to 11, but I still think you should be selling all of those if you've got them. Even if it gets reprinted, this will be like the 6th time that it's been printed. So there's going to be plenty of supply out there for anybody who wants to play it. So it's not a good card to be speculating on, in my opinion. The other big thing that came out of that news, they did a live stream on YouTube talking about the set, and they were going to spoil one blue card. And the guy from Wizards right away was like, whoa, no, don't tell everybody about that. We can't spoil the best card in the set. A lot of people are guessing that it's going to be Force of Will, but I think that's way too good for Modern. My guess, I'm calling it right now, is that card is Show and Tell. It's a card that's been a staple in Legacy for a really long time, but it's not in Modern yet. They did just reprint it not too long ago, so it's not something that they're going to be afraid to print again, and I think there's a really good chance that's going to end up coming into Modern.
That's pretty fucking cool. That's some deep-ass speculation.
Oh, yeah, dude.
I mean,
Brendan always brings it.
I could be wrong, but it's like $15 or $16 right now, and if that becomes a staple in Modern, I would say it'll probably be selling for 30 or 40.
Interesting.
For a Magic card, man. Hell yeah.
Yeah. The other thing, I mentioned it, God, that was a while ago now, but Tempest Gym, I told everybody to buy it when it was $2 and sell it when it hit $4, and it's right about there. So if you've got them, go ahead and sell them. The only other cool thing I had this week, I know I did a post in the MeWe group about the new Crown Royal Peach. Did you guys see that?
I thought it actually was pretty badass.
Yeah, it's something that we have been getting calls at work about constantly, and then it finally got released, and people are really excited about it. Supposedly, it's a really limited run, and they didn't make very much of it. So there's been pretty steady sales for sealed bottles on eBay for like $50 or $60.
So when did this come out?
Last week.
Fuck, I need to go to the liquor store. Maybe I'll go tomorrow.
The cool thing about it is what I didn't think about is the longevity of the bag prices.
Yeah.
But the prices of the bags, what people are going to fucking, that's what the speculation.
So what are they paying for the bag?
They've gone down a little bit because more people are getting their hands on them. But
yeah.
most of them are selling for like $8 to $12.
$12.
And it's $21 for the bottle, so you could just take it out of the box and sell the bag.
So do you think there's like any kind of longevity on Crown Royal bags, like older ones? Or?
Yes.
Yeah, the limited edition bags sell for really good money. They do a lot of stuff like tie-ins with sports teams. Here, let me take a peek.
I remember I got a bag for the year 2000 for Crown Royal. And I was like, oh, that's pretty cool.
You still have it?
Oh, yeah. I got all the bags.
That's awesome.
I was going to make a quilt out of this thing, but...
Everybody always says that.
Speaking of that, I want to talk about a few of the specs that some of the guys talked about that I like this week. I really like Chuck C's spec about the Captain Marvel Adidas shoes. Those are fucking...
Oh, yeah. Those are...
Dude, they're selling like crazy right now,
I had no idea. Yeah, that was a really good post.
It's too bad that he dropped it 2 days after it released, because I was like, oh, fuck, that would have been great to have that.
Yeah.
I really like Brandon Yokin's post about Origin of Dr. Fate. I think that is a character that DC is going to invest in heavily here in the future.
I feel like people talked about that a while ago, right? Is that old spec? But yeah, so people know about that book, kind of, if you're in the know. And
my favorite spec, and I can't believe it hasn't been talked about yet, but one of our very own, Keith. Tell me about these fucking Pez Chase variants.
Oh shit!
I have no idea, dude. I saw it on Facebook. Some said, "Oh, I scored this at Walmart," and I was like, "What the fuck is that?" So it's a black and white Captain Crunch head on a Pez. I don't know if it's bigger or what. Do you know anything about him, Brandon?
I don't. I really liked that post, and I was like, shit, I gotta start looking.
I went to five belows after that looking at fucking Pez.
It was in Walmart. I told you it was in Walmart.
Yeah, that's because they have normal Pez, right? Normal Pez dispensers, the normal ones you always see.
Yeah.
And then they have these Funko ones.
Yeah, that's why I say.
So that's what it is. Funko, it's a Funko Pez.
Is it bigger or is it any different than the regular? Yeah, okay, that's what it looked like.
It's not like the hard plastic. It's a little different. Still a Pez dispenser. But it's made by Funko. I think they're more expensive.
Yeah, a
that's
long time ago there was like a big collector's market for Pez dispensers, but I haven't really heard anything about it recently.
Isn't that the rumor that that's how eBay started? Was collectors? It was like a buy sell trade forum for Pez dispensers.
wow. I never heard that one.
I have heard that, but I haven't heard anybody talk about it in a long time.
They're
I
saying
have
what
no
was
idea if
sorry?
it's accurate, but that's how eBay was started. Like
Well, it was
Amazon-
started because somebody wanted to sell some kind of collectible. It could have been Pez, but it was one person was really hardcore into things. I think it might have been like cars. Could it have been collectible tin cars, maybe?
Hot Wheels? Tin
Yeah, I
cars.
think it was Hot Wheels. I don't
very
know,
possible. I just
but
heard it was
it's
Pez
also possible
dispensers.
it was Pez dispensers. It was something very niche market, and I do think it might have been more niche market than Hot Wheels. So yeah, it's possible.
I saw two guys older than me fucking knee deep in a fucking Hot Wheel bin at Walmart 3 days ago. And I want to be like, haha, you guys are one level away from fucking not wearing deodorant and playing Magic and shit.
Whoa! What are you talking about, asshole?
I'm just
He's
joking.
right. He's right. No, he's right. He's
I-
right, Brandon.
Nico was talking about that today. I think
No, it's true, Brandon. You don't wear deodorant, and you play
You don't
Magic.
shower and you
Brandon
know,
has
he
guys
has
that
crumbs
guys
on
that,
his shoulder and shit.
guys that have
True.
wives wear deodorant. That's a fact.
No, he
fair.
doesn't have to because he has a wife that lets him play Magic. So I mean, that's like a double whammy right there.
I mean, I guess I do wear deodorant though.
Exactly. That's why he has a wife.
Could be.
I don't know.
I don't know.
man.
Everybody I know that plays Magic, that's never been an issue with. But it seems like the people who complain about that tend to have those problems themselves. So,
Oh, dude, I was in some situations when I was digging in Dallas like 3
The
years
people who
back.
complain about people not wearing deodorant don't wear deodorant. Is that what you just said?
No,
What a
he
guy.
didn't
You're
say
a
that.
funny guy, Brandon.
no, for real. Like every time I see people, they're like, "Oh yeah, all these people like don't wear deodorant and they smell," and I'm like,
But if you guys know me
You're
at
like,
all,
dude, you better fucking look in the mirror.
"Yeah, like it's just the people that you hang out with. It's not Magic players in general."
you guys aren't listening though. If you listen to any of my old stuff, I say the same thing about comic book people. Horrible fucking hygiene. No
At Comic-
brushing the teeth.
No doubt.
They got
Comic-Con.
fucking smell like Marlboros. Fucking got Percocets. Fucking sweat dripping on you. Comic book people are the fucking worst at conventions. That's why
Comic Cons are worse. Yeah, Comic Cons are pretty bad, man.
it's like
I
the
totally
state
agree with that.
fair
Set.
indoors.
Sweat. Okay.
So I did find a couple
Interesting.
examples here. I put one in the chat for you guys, but there's a special edition Manitoba Canada Day Crown Royal bag that's selling for like $50. There's one like Michigan special edition that's selling for $60 for just the bag. So there's a bunch of weird ones. Some Las Vegas one people are selling for $60.
So I'm into shit like that. I think that's cool.
And that's just the bag.
That's just the bag. And if you really want, there's a bunch of like really nice looking blankets and shit that people made out of Crown Royal bags that you can
Yeah,
buy
what do those go for?
like $300.
Wow, what size?
They're pretty big, like king size blankets.
Holy shit, how many bags would you need for that?
I think one of the listings said in the title, I think they said they used 300 bags.
Fucking alcoholics, dude.
Well, I mean, I don't know if they drank all that.
It was made in Oklahoma. Guarantee it.
Probably Nebraska, dude.
There's one quilt that says it was made from more than 160 bags.
160. Ooh.
Yeah,
Jimmy was conceived on a blanket made of
Crown Royal.
Captain Crunch
Captain
boxes.
Morgan.
Captain Crunch.
Oh, one other thing I wanted to mention. If anybody happens to see them in their liquor store, the pints of Crown Royal, which are 375 milliliter bottles, used to all come with a bag, and they don't make those anymore. So I think there's going to be a collector's market for those. If you see them sitting on the shelf at your liquor store, I'd grab them.
Say that one more time.
Oh,
pint
that's
size Crown Royal
nice.
bottles. They used to come with a bag, but they do not anymore. So if you see them sitting around at the shelf on your
So the
liquor,
pint size is the tiny ones?
375 milliliter bottles,
Okay,
Oh.
that makes sense.
because they don't make them anymore. I think there's going to be people trying to grab them.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, good cheap spec.
Oh God. When you move, are you still gonna? How are we gonna get a liquor spec, dude?
Well, I'm talking to the GM of the Vancouver store for Total Wine and More on Saturday or Sunday. Hopefully, I'm just going to be transferring, but we'll see what happens. If not, maybe one of our listeners can hook me up with a job.
Wow, they have a store there in that town?
Yep.
That's pretty.
Is that a coincidence?
No.
Okay.
We
So you guys kind of planned it like that?
Yeah, I mean, I wanted to live in the Portland area anyway because I'm going to school for creative writing, and there's a shitload of TV that gets made there. So it's somewhere that I wanted to end up in the long run. But we talked about like moving to a bunch of different places, and that's somewhere we both agreed we'd like to live. So
Good for you, man. Pacific Northwest is nice out there.
yeah,
I've been there a couple times.
I've been
Yeah.
up there a couple times too. Not too shabby.
it's a nice little spot.
Well, does anybody else got anything?
I don't think so, man.
Yeah, I guess that's all we have. Thanks, guys, for tuning in. One thing to think about, though, is it's sad that Lori Lohan has lost her Hallmark Channel roles after this college scam indictment. Another thing to think about, though, is like if you click right here, you can subscribe to our channel. And if you click over here, you can click on a playlist of all of our other podcasts. Okay, cool. Thanks again, guys. Click on those 2 links. Bye.